I live in fucking the seventh circle of hell, I swear to God.
Oh my God. Jesus. I had no idea. I picture you in like a little like a country idol.
I wish.
Yeah. But I got sickos out here too. Just yelling about shit. I'm just like, what are we yelling about?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
me too. I'm one of them.
Um,
The faucets are dripping in old New York City.
1, 2, 3, 4. These boys only want the best stuff. They want the cream of the crop. They don't want none of that Michael Bay shit. They want the shit that pops. Oscar bait, black and white. Maybe something French. If it's got more than one explosion, honey, put that shit on the bench. Oscar Wieners, Oscar Wieners, Oscar Wieners. These boys are the Oscar Wieners.
Yum, yum.
welcome to Oscar Wieners.
No.
Yes.
Oh. All right.
You fucking problem?
Oh, no. No problem at all.
You got a problem with it, or am I gonna have to stage a musical at you?
Please. That's maybe the biggest threat you've ever.
Am
Don't
I gonna
stage
have to
musical
stage 40 consecutive unbroken minutes of musical production at you
acts. I really wish you wouldn't.
in the
Not
middle of the
again.
movie? Am I gonna have to
No.
do that at you
No.
today?
No, I'll behave. I'll be fine.
Yeah, good.
Say where.
I am fucking the only show.
Spiraling.
No. Welcome to Oscar Wieners, the only show on the internet where Hollywood's biggest night is a really long, boring show that you should skip.
Ouch.
I am one of your hosts, Trombone.
And I'm your other host, Craig C'est La Vie.
Beautiful. Michael, he's Ander, and this is a show where every week we pick a Best Picture winner at random and try to figure out if it's Best Picture worthy. And this week we're talking about the 1937 Best Picture winner, the Great Ziegfeld.
Whether you like it or not.
Odds are you're not gonna
No.
like it.
No.
Yeah. Directed by Robert Z. Leonard. It is 177 beautiful minutes long.
Long.
And it is about what's his friend? Florin Ziegfeld, Ziggy, as his friends call him. Played by William Powell, who it follows him over the course of like basically from the time he's like in his 30s until he dies, probably in his like maybe 70s or something. Like from his time as like as a carnival barker to his end as like sort of a failed Broadway producer who has gone poor because of the Great Depression. Just to give you an idea of what kind of movie we're dealing with.
As you're saying this, not a joke, I think I might have actually fallen asleep during the last part of this movie. I don't remember the end. I don't remember how this movie ends. Like, that is so, like, what you just said was so unfamiliar to me. I don't know if I finished it.
This is going to be a great episode. I'm going to have to carry the weight of two people. I watched this movie 2 weeks ago. I barely remember it. You fell asleep during it.
No, I got plenty. Listen, I got stuff to say. Don't you worry.
I don't, so I'm glad you do.
Okay. Let's talk it out. Let's talk this out.
Yeah.
Let's start with the basics. Let's start with the bare bones.
Yeah.
Who is the Great Ziegfeld at his core? He's just a guy who puts on shows. Is that all there is to him?
Yeah. The movie argues that, yeah, that's all there is.
Yeah. So he's just basically trying to finagle all these entertainment acts. He starts with this strong man, a guy who just lifts a bunch of shit. They're buddies. And it shows his process of being a promoter, trying to get people interested in this entertainment that he has to purvey. And he actually turns this strong man into a pretty successful superstar, an actor. So the guy's got chops. The guy knows how to promote.
Yeah, and like he sort of has this like this relationship with, is it Jack
Uh,
Billings?
yeah, Jack Billings, his rival.
Yeah.
His rival, if I may.
Yeah, it's like they're friends, but then like Ziegfeld is always stealing like either Frank Billings's girl or his act.
Yeah, or his ass.
But like Frank, what the fuck's his name?
Jack.
Jack. Frank Morgan's the actor. Jack is but Jack is always like, that, you know what? I can't, that's Ziegfeld. He's kooky. What can you say? Like, and then at one point, like, Ziegfeld is always going to him for money because I guess he like knows an investor or is an investor, and like he's like, you know what? Just cut him the check.
I don't know why he gives him money like throughout every grandiose idea that hatches through his thick skull, this man. But our intrepid hero is also a degenerate gambler.
Yeah.
So like he makes like $50,000 on this strong man and basically pushing him around the country, which, by the way, the things that entertained people in 1893 never will cease to blow my mind. Like, even Jack Billings just has like everybody's lining up like down the block to see this woman do an Egyptian themed dance. And it's like, give him a taste, honey. And she's just like, for 5 seconds. And they're like, yeah.
This movie's so boring.
It's I actually don't think it's boring. I think it's long. I know that sounds like an interesting statement coming from a guy who nodded off during the climax of the piece, but it did actually hold my interest mostly. It is bloated. It's way too long. There are so many irrelevant characters and moments. Remember Mary Lou, the girl who takes piano lessons from his concerto expert father?
One of the weirder subplots.
And truly, she does not matter one bit. Like, that's an entire arc that could have been cut.
Yeah, she's like this little girl, like truly, she's like literally like probably like 11, 7, 10,
Yeah.
I don't know, between those ages. And she like has like this dynamic with Ziegfeld where she's like, we're engaged.
Yeah.
It's like, haha, you're such a cutie pie. Like, and then like she gets older, like cut 20 years ahead, and she's like a young lady, and she's like, give me a kiss, Ziegfeld. He's like, oh, you're like the little girl. That's so weird. It's actually almost like heartening. It's like, oh, at least Ziegfeld like thinks it's also weird that she's still like holding a torch for him. It's like, aren't you like he's like, get over it. Like, yeah.
Yes, but also, why is it in the movie? Like, it doesn't.
That's also
matter
100%.
one iota.
Yeah, because after she gets reintroduced, then she gets dropped completely, and she's not in the last hour of the movie.
Right. Like, I thought at least the logical movie thing to do would be, oh, he's now going to have like a romantic fling with her, even though that would be incredibly inappropriate. But I thought that's where it was going. That would at least be interesting in a sickening way.
No, yeah, it would be like, oh, at least like this is something.
Yeah, but instead it's truly nothing. There are two major structural flaws with this film. Major. I'm talking there's flooding. I'm talking the basement is in shambles. I'm talking the foundation is rotten.
There are termites eating away at the foundation.
Yeah, so bad. Basically, the structure of this movie is hour and a half film, and in the middle there's a musical set piece for 40 minutes. But these two pieces, the buns of the sandwich, are the exact same movie. It's just the Great Ziegfeld meets a woman, promotes her. She's a very talented singer and performer. Kind of gets bored of her, meets a new person. And then the same thing plays out in the end after the 40-minute musical.
Probably the biggest problem with this movie, and why I think the length feels so unnecessary, is that, look, I'm not saying characters don't have to change in movies, but this movie feels so like, it feels so traditional that you would think that Ziegfeld's character would go from like either selfish to not,
Yeah.
or like disloyal to loyal. But I guess he kind of does. It just doesn't really feel like he ever changes. Because like even when his first marriage ends with what's her face? Do you know her name?
Ruth.
Ruth. So what, his first wife is Ruth and the second one is
Anna Held.
Anna Held. Okay, so Anna and
Yep.
Ruth. Ruth number one, Anna number two. So when his marriage ends with Ruth, it doesn't end because like he cheats really. Like a woman kisses him and she just happens to walk in on it and she's like, I'm done. And then like she expects him to chase after her like in the weeks that follow, but he doesn't. And then they get a divorce because then he falls in love with another woman. And like it just, like if you wanted him to go from like bad to good, just the easy way to do that arc is like he kisses her. And then like
Right.
and then like when he's with his second wife, he's much more loyal and he even realizes like, oh, I'm very grateful to her for like being so supportive throughout like my creative endeavors and like even my lows, she's very very supportive. But like I don't know, it's just so the drama is not there. The arc is not there. Ziegfeld as a
No.
character is basically just like flat as the flattest seltzer you've ever let sit out for too long.
Truly. And what makes it even worse, and the fact, actually, I'm glad we watched this because it really does embody everything that I tend to dislike about most movies from this era, is that they will so often present you with a main character and say, here's your hero. But why? Like, why? It's like, okay, why is he a hero? It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? He just is. What do you mean? That's the attitude that they present us with. And it's like, well, what did he do to deserve our perspective of him? Women just fawn over him throughout the entire movie. His own rival treats him with kindness and respect. Like, why is Ziegfeld so great?
Yeah, it truly is like, well, his name's in the title.
Yeah,
So it's
so he's just our hero.
and just like yeah, well, here's the thing. You said earlier like you actually didn't hate. I don't hate this movie either. I don't really think it's actually that boring. I actually kind of found, we can get to the musical stuff, which yeah. But the non-musical stuff I actually found like fairly engaging. It just goes on way too long. And again, there's no like stakes really for the most part. Like drama when it happens seems to come out of nowhere basically because it's like, well, there hasn't been like a ramp up to that. It's just sort of like happens.
They really just surprise. There are stakes, but you're right. They just kind of jump scare you with them. Just like everything is going totally perfectly fine. He's, on Broadway, like creating all these new shows that are successful, and then all of a sudden he's just like, actually we're broke. I spent all our money. Fuck, right? Now we have to have another hit.
And again, that was
sunk.
Yeah, and again, like if this were an experimental movie, I'd be like, wow, it's doing really interesting things with structure. But I know it's not trying to be experimental. It's just like 1937 or something. I don't know. It's like, I guess they're
right. Yeah,
I just don't know. It's like they haven't really figured out. At least this movie, they did not figure out how to cook this one properly.
Here's why you should watch it.
Okay.
Remember it's a boring ass sandwich. It's a gray,
right?
Like I don't want to upset any potential sponsors, but let's say a Carl's Jr. hamburger. It's like kind of gray.
I actually was talking to a Carl's Jr. rep just this morning. I was emailing back and forth. Yeah.
All right. If we get the Carl's Jr. sponsorship, then you can just like bleep out whatever I said.
Okay.
Just put in Arby's is that burger. Arby's is fine. Just put in whatever.
Got it.
The middle musical portion, I think, is quite enjoyable.
Okay.
And actually pretty enchanting. And
kind of crazy coming from you.
Which, yes, I know. Like, I understand my reputation on this show for being staunchly anti-musical, but I actually did think so the whole performance that's kind of just shoehorned into the middle of the film, it's Ziegfeld's like grand folly. He's like, we gotta just I got this huge idea. We're going to take all these different people and we're going to put them together in this one show. It's going to be spectacular and like everything is riding on it. And the show is interesting. The show is very good. Like it's the way that it's filmed, I think is very interesting. Like it starts with like just this one performer and he's singing and you're like, okay. But then there's movement. The set pieces are interesting. The settings are interesting. They have like this huge portion of the stage that's rotating like this giant thing. And you only see it like on a slow zoom out. You get to see the full picture of everybody singing in unison and like all these different costumes and designs and extravagance. And you're like, okay, this is actually pretty interesting. They have like a number of interesting songs. The whole thing with the strings where they give strings to the audience and then they pass it to everybody and then it turns out they're all attached to balloons. I thought that was just a great bit of show business. That was nice. I was entertained for this stretch.
Okay, see, I found this whole section really tough because it just keeps going on. I do think that's like the first number that they do, which is the one you said with like it starts with the guy, and then it's really impressive because it's just one take and it just keeps like the stage is turning. And maybe the camera isn't moving and it's just like locked down, but it's like the stage is turning, so it looks like the camera's moving, and just like different people keep coming in and singing, and it is really impressive. But then I feel like after that, like I don't know, the musical like it's definitely better than like like remember the musical stuff in Broadway Melody, like
No. Actually, it did come to mind because I was like, remember when it was just two ladies kicking?
yeah, it reminded me of that. Like this is like a better version of it.
Yeah.
But I still found it just kind of boring. I don't know. I just think these like old like revival shows, I just wouldn't have done good. I wouldn't have done well in like the 20s when like this is all that existed, because I would have been like, this is so boring.
What's wrong with this fella? Doesn't take to Broadway, see?
I'm glad you liked it though. That actually is surprising. I expected us to get on here and you'd be like, that shit was boring.
No, I think it actually saves this movie.
Okay.
Oddly enough. I think the rest of it kind of stinks. See, it's really just because the characters there's nothing really to compel me there. And it's so important. But I'm like, Ziegfeld ain't that great.
We've talked about this before. Like even sort of like The Greatest Show on Earth, like where it's like, why is this movie? I mean, Greatest Show on Earth is slightly less long than this movie, but like still pretty long. And it's like, why is this movie so long? And I think it's just like, we've talked about this so many times in so many episodes. It's just like people, especially in the 30s, like they couldn't really see shit. And it's like, this is a way to see shit. So it's like, give them a long movie. And it's like, this is a way to just like experience like a story. I don't know. And it's like relatively
totally
cheap. Yeah. Versus like going to an actual Broadway production.
Or you could just go on youtube.com if you want.
Why didn't they just type in to the URL youtube.com?
They didn't know how to fucking use the search bar. Were they stupid?
Idiots.
Dumb. Just take it to the fucking Apple Store Genius Bar.
Go to Geek Squad even. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Fucking unbelievable. It pisses me off that after the musical performance, there's an hour left, which is absolutely absurd and outrageous. Like there is no cinematic momentum at that point. Like you feel like that is kind of this crescendo of like, okay, Ziegfeld is just like trying to piece all this stuff together and it works. His crazy notions come together in this play and then you expect some sort of resolution and then that's it. But he's like, no, actually, we're just going to fart around. I'm going to get married again. And then who knows what happens at the end because I passed the fuck out.
This is your review for the New York Times. I like, yeah, that's the thing. It's like the movie doesn't know where to end. It's like as if they're like, I guess we just keep going till he dies, right? Because like
crazy.
You would think, yeah, there's like you either end with some kind of personal or professional triumph, which kind of the stage production is.
Yeah.
Or you end with the opposite and it like ends on a bummer note. I guess the movie does end on kind of a bummer note, but like, yeah, it just keeps going. It's truly like, it just keeps going, the movie. And like, I actually, when he breaks up, when him and Ruth's relationship ends, like Ruth calls, why does he, Does she calls Ziegfeld? Their like final
Yeah.
scene together. Why does she call him again?
Because he's remarried now to Anna.
Oh, to congratulate him.
Yeah, she's like, I'm going to congratulate him. And then she's immediately weeping as soon as she picks up the
See,
phone.
I actually do think that scene is kind of effective because like you're not hearing Ziegfeld's side, you're only seeing her respond to what he's saying, and like, you know, she expresses to like her like maid, whoever, the lady that like basically takes care of her.
Yeah.
Like she says to her like because she's the lady says to Ruth like, well, why did you like divorce him if you wanted to be with him? She's like, I wanted him to like chase me. And so it is kind of devastating a little bit. Like, maybe devastating is kind of a strong word. It's a little sad though.
It is a little sad, but I think it's just too little too late because her character arc is basically deleted from minute 86 to 212. You know, like she's gone for a third of the film and she's supposed to be one of the main characters.
Well, even when her and Ziegfeld are married, just the way this movie, like, just the way these scenes are put together, like, she'll disappear for like 20 minutes. I'm like, wait, are her and Ziegfeld even still together? And they are.
They are, but
until they're divorced, obviously.
Right. They said that their relationship on screen is like showing their initial courtship and marriage, and then that's it. There's really no development past that.
Yeah.
The thin premise crumbles under the weight of adding a second love interest. And they don't know how to make both characters feel weighty in a way where I feel satisfying.
Yeah. I actually think Anna is the first wife, and then Billy Burke is the second wife. For anybody keeping track at home.
Who the fuck is Ruth?
I don't even see a Ruth, actually. I think that might have been in your dreams.
I did.
You were dreaming of Ruth Bader Ginsburg,
and I always am. My notes page, by the way, is completely blank except I have one note. It says Ruth. It just says Ruth ? And that's it. There's no other notes.
Yeah. So Anna is the first wife. It really doesn't fucking matter.
Oh, so it's delete everything we just said.
Everything I said about Ruth, just substitute Anna for it.
Okay. And then Billy Burke is who he remarries?
That's who he remarries.
Okay.
And she seems like old money, inheritance.
Independently wealthy? I don't know.
Is that independently wealthy? I don't know.
Not real. I mean, dependent, I guess, on your family, but.
Right. Well, she has, it seems, I think she
has her own, I don't know. Is she well off? She's a dancer.
But she gives money though to Ziegfeld to stage 4 separate Broadway productions at the same time, just to say fuck you to the guys in the barbershop that cursed Ziegfeld, that were like, you stupid idiot. That guy doesn't even know how to make Broadway stuff anymore.
Imagine getting pissed on so hard by 4 barbershop guys that you had to make a play about it.
Well, I'm just trying to say, like, Billy is like, I do find the relationship kind of sweet, like the way she sort of is so supportive of him, even though like he like wastes money so freely, and like it's like his instincts throughout the movie vary so wildly. His instincts vary so wildly from like knowing what what he thinks the public wants and what they actually do want. Like sometimes he's right on it, and then sometimes he isn't, and it's just like back and forth, success, failure.
Right.
Yeah. What was your eureka?
Sorry. Billy is a third woman. She's like a performer in her own right.
Well, who's the second one? Because the first woman's Anne.
Audrey is the second one.
Audrey?
Yes. Audrey is the woman that performed in Anna's show.
Right. Audrey is the one who Anna everybody pay attention. Audrey,
we've lost everybody.
Audrey, nobody's watching this episode.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Audrey is the one that Anne thinks that Ziggy is smooching on intentionally. I mean, he is like kind of giving her gifts. Like it seems like he is kind of like being kind of scummy, but it doesn't seem like they've actually like done anything like physically. Like it's not like they've like had sex or hooked up or anything. It doesn't seem like. But he definitely does like her, and she's kind of like she's sort of a tough dame.
Yeah. And then she's like throwing parties. She's like getting drunk at the halfway point of performances.
Yeah, she's kind of messy.
But again, ultimately, another, dare I say, irrelevant character. Like, what is her arc?
She's just
And
there to
why do
be
we
kind
care?
of the. She's just there to be like the wrench in like his marriage with Anna, I guess.
Okay. But even though she's not, like, ultimately, the wrench is Billy Burke.
Yeah. Well, just because Ziggy falls in love with her and then is like, all right, I guess me and Anna is for sure officially done.
We should really get to know some 90-year-olds. I'm sure they would love this shit.
There are probably some 90-year-olds out there who are like, I remember the Great Ziegfeld. I just wish I could hear somebody talk about it again. This is the show for them.
This is it, Grandma. You're here.
I don't know. And then to explain the ending to you,
Thanks.
he basically, so he has like those 4 productions that Billy helps him make so he can prove these like random guys in the barbershop who are talking bad about him but don't know that he's actually there. And then he like gets up, he's like, I'll show you. He stages those 4 productions.
And they're like, who the fuck was that guy?
Um, so he does that to prove them wrong. He's like, I'm gonna make 4 successful Broadway productions. He actually does, but the next day is the Great Depression. It starts.
Yes, the next day.
Like literally.
It's hilarious.
And then he goes broke. Obviously all the Broadway productions shut down.
Yeah, everybody goes broke. Jack Billings, believe it or not, also is broke.
Yeah.
Actually, not really. He was like, I actually barely even invested in the stock market. I'll be all right. And then, how about you?
I think he was lying to Ziegfeld, I think, though, to make him feel better. Or maybe to, like, save face or something. Maybe he was kind of embarrassed. That's how I took it anyway.
Yeah.
But
naturally, Ziegfeld lost everything.
yeah.
I just bought, like, $80,000 worth of Bitcoin
Oh,
or whatever.
it's so funny. Yeah, he's like, I just invested in the stock market. My accountant told me how to get involved, and it's going great.
Yeah.
And then the stock market fucking crashes.
He just learned how to do it. He's like, hey, have you heard about this stock market thing? Apparently people are making some cash on this. The next day is the Great Depression.
It sucks.
Tough.
Yeah, so then, like, that's kind of towards the end of the movie, and then, like, it just, next few years, he's just sort of like, he's like fucking Howard Hughes, just like isolated, doesn't seem to be going out. And then the movie kind of ends, he's like sick. They don't really say with what, it just seems like maybe, I don't know, he's just like sick.
And just got sick, yeah.
And Billings comes to see him one last time. And it's kind of, it seems like everybody knows he's gonna die, but like isn't totally. They're like, I don't know, maybe he'll get better, but like we don't really. It doesn't look good. I actually did find the last scene like kind of, I guess, sort of moving, because it's like Ziegfeld is saying to Billings like he says to him, why is it, Jack, that in a world so old, life must be so short? Because like he's like, I still like have stuff I want to do. Like there's just so much I haven't done. Like productions I want to stage and like kind of different, whatever, like things I haven't done. And I just think that's sad. And it did kind of move me. And like Billings is trying to be like, you know what? Once you get better, I got this. I got an investor I'm meeting with. We can fly to fucking whatever, Paris, and we'll talk to them.
Crazy that he's still willing to support him.
Yeah, but he's also lying. Like, I don't think he doesn't have any money, and like he's just trying to like tap him up, I guess. But
Keep him alive.
yeah, and then he dies in his like fucking velvet chair, like a king.
Oh, none of this fucking carbon monoxide shit.
Emile Zola, he is not.
That's right. Surprise Emile Zola reference. Aren't you excited?
I don't know. That's the Great Ziegfeld. Do you have any final thoughts?
Yeah, I think this is better than Hamlet.
That's fuck you, man. That's crazy.
I don't know. Yeah, it's not that great, but I ultimately would not recommend this. But
Oh, absolutely not. There's a bunch of blackface in it.
that is true. Yeah, they have like you're like, oh, things are going okay, and then all of a sudden some guy in blackface comes on stage and starts singing, and you're like, Fuck, man.
Good movie.
Outstanding.
Would you like to hear the other Best Picture nominees for the year of 1937?
Oh,
All right. So first up, we have a Mervyn LeRoy picture,
a
who I think's come up before. I don't remember for what. It is called Anthony Adverse.
what fucking sucks. I know this is a bad movie.
No way.
Anthony Adverse. It sounds like the worst Marvel movie.
Based on the novel by Hervey Allen. Hervey Allen.
Oh, sorry.
This expansive drama follows the many adventures of the eponymous hero, Anthony Adverse, abandoned at a convent by his heartless nobleman father, Don Luis. Anthony is later mentored by his kind grandfather, John Bonnyfeather, and falls for the beautiful Angela Giuseppe. Circumstances separate Anthony and Angela, and he embarks on a long journey. He must find his way back to her, no matter what the cost.
God, who the hell
Fucking
these people?
thumbs down.
Yeah, sorry. That's gonna be a no from me, boss.
Next up, it does not get better from here. We have Dodsworth.
Who the hell is this?
Although I will say it's a William Wyler joint.
Oh, Billy.
Our Mrs. Miniver pal.
Okay.
And it is about a retired auto manufacturer and his wife who take a long planned European vacation only to find that they want very different things from life. That actually sounds good.
Yeah,
Sounds simple.
It's
Sounds
simple,
good.
yeah. All right.
Man, that's my watch list. Fuck it.
He's got enough cachet from Mrs. Miniver that I would watch that.
If you make a single masterpiece, you'll get me on your side for a few years.
Mel Gibson's still kicking.
Next up, we have The Libeled Lady. Or Libeled? Libeled Lady. Libeled.
Yeah.
Directed by Jack Conway. And it is about a major newspaper that accuses wealthy socialite Connie Allenberry of being a homewrecker. And she files a multi-million-dollar libel lawsuit. The publication's frazzled head editor, Warren Haggerty, must find a way to turn the tables on her.
Turn the tables? In what way?
I don't know. Soon Haggerty's harried fiancée, Gladys Benton, and his dashing friend, Bill Chandler, are in on a scheme that aims to discredit Connie with amusing and unexpected results. All right, next up we have a Frank Capra film. He's returned. It is called Mr. Deeds Goes to Town. Longfellow Deeds lives in a small town, leading a small town kind of life. When a relative dies and leaves Deeds a fortune, Longfellow moves to the big city where he becomes an instant target for everyone. Deeds outwits them all until Babe Bennett comes along. When small town boy meets big city girl, anything can and does happen. Yo, I feel
good. Okay, sure.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, sounds fun.
Next up we can't escape him.
No.
It is an adaptation of William R. Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah?
Romeo and Juliet?
Now?
Directed by, you'll never guess, My Fair Lady's Own, George Cukor.
Oh, yes, our good friend.
He was kicking still back in the 30s. And this movie's, I don't know if you heard of it. It's about the Montagues and the Capulets. Two kids from either family fall in love, and hilarity ensues.
It's really just a romp.
It is a cute little love story.
Sounds fun. I might have to check that out.
All right, next up we have a W.S. Van Dyke picture. It is called San Francisco. Ever been?
Yeah, when I was 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
For my uncle's wedding.
Okay. Do you remember it?
Not much. Actually, I do remember that my parents had gotten me like one of those little viewfinder things where like you click it and it's different scenes when you look at the scope of it.
Yeah.
I had some fun with that. Yeah.
That's cute.
I think it was maybe 3.
I've been to San Francisco. Good city, I guess. I don't know. I've only visited. I haven't actually lived there. Who knows what it's like to live there.
What about the movie?
Yeah, so it's about a beautiful singer and a battling priest who tried to reform a Barbary Coast saloon owner in the days before the Great Earthquake and subsequent fires in 1906. They were really
In
just
what way?
they were just putting just random elements together and seeing what stuck, huh?
Yeah, they just like reached into a jar full of nouns and
Like-
made a movie.
Like-
Truly.
Priest, saloon owner, singer, 1906 earthquake. I don't know. Let's figure something out.
And what's great is it's one of the 7 movies that were made that year, so it'll be nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah. Next up, we have a William Dieterle movie. It is the story of Louise Pasteur. A true story about Louise Pasteur, who revolutionized medicine by proving that much disease is caused by microbes, that sanitation is paramount, and that at least some diseases can be cured by vaccinations. Well, that's not true. Diseases can't be cured by vaccinations. RFK Jr. said so.
Yeah. Thank you, Robert.
Yeah, that sounds fine, I guess. I mean, thank God for that guy, but like, I don't really care.
No, it does not sound riveting exactly.
Next up, 2 more. Let's try and knock these out really quick. Next up, we have Dickens is Back. It's a Jack Conway movie. Didn't he also direct? He directed something else this year. He's a twofer.
He's going nuts. He's going sicko mode.
Yeah. It is an adaptation of Charles Dickens' classic book, A Tale of Two Cities. The exciting story of Dr. Manette, who escapes the horrors of the infamous Bastille prison in Paris. The action switches between London and Paris on the eve of the Revolution, where we witness the best of times and the worst of times, love, hope, and caring French aristocrats, and the terror of a revolutionary citizens' army intent on exacting revenge. And finally, where would we be if we didn't end with just 3 smart girls?
Really?
Henry Coster's 3 Smart Girls.
Okay. How smart are they? What are we talking? What's their deal?
The 3 Craig sisters, Penny, Kay, and Joan, go to New York to stop their divorced father from marrying gold digger Donna Lyons and reunite him with their mother. That sounds truly like a romp.
Yeah, that's like Parent Trap, kind of,
Sorta, yeah.
in a way.
It has
I'm glad you said that.
It has pretty mixed reviews on Letterboxd, so maybe I won't be watching it, but... Andrew, do you think The Great Ziegfeld is Best Picture worthy? Let's say it together.
Sure.
Let's harmonize.
Okay. Are we counting down?
I'll only count on my fingers.
Sure.
No. God, that was good.
That
Jersey Boys could never.
No, Jersey Boys wish. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I'll give it to whatever the fuck Mrs. Miniver was cooking up.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know. I'll give it to three broke girls, 3 smart
3
broke girls.
I love that Fox sitcom.
Yeah. I'll give it to that. It sounded interesting.
I'll give it to Dodsworth. That was the Weiler. I feel like Mr. Deeds Goes to Town sounds fun.
But it's all for naught.
What?
Our opinion doesn't matter, ass.
Excuse me.
What matters is the opinion of the people, of the world, of the internet, of the World Wide Web. Thus, I'll read some reviews that I've sourced. 3 of them, maybe. I don't know. It's like a good number. Seems like a good cross section that's representative of the whole.
3 smart reviews.
3 smart reviews from 3 smart people. Give me the name of a really smart person.
It's gotta be a smart little lady named Penny.
Oh, Penny says 1. Nay. 2 stars. Summary of a 3-hour movie. Look at me. Look at my show. Fuck, I'm broke. Wait, I have money again. Look at me. Look at my show. Fuck, I'm broke again. And it goes on and on. Yeah, I think that's a pretty adequate summation.
100%.
Yeah,
I'll
pretty good. Give me the name of an even smarter girl.
It's gotta be Kay.
Kay says 2 stars once more. The sisters are aligned. Best Picture? Seriously? Man, this was dull. Every time there was a song and dance number, I completely checked out. My brain just went straight to pizza toppings. There's next to no conflict for a central character, even when faced with what should be the most dramatic moment. It must have been a rough year at the cinema for this to win Best Picture, or maybe it's just proof that the Academy has always made bad choices.
Imagine musicals happening in front of you and all you can think about is pepperoni.
I mean, that's most of my life now. Stuff will be happening in front of me, and I'm just like, super sada though. Fresh mozzarella, you know what I'm saying? Give me the name of a somehow yet even smarter sister.
It's got to be the smartest Joan.
Joan says, yes, you guessed it, 2 stars. This is a quintessential 2-star.
That's beautiful.
Why is it, Jack, that in a world so old, life must be so short? Maybe because movies like this dare to waste 3 precious hours of our time.
That was mine.
You are the smartest girl of all.
Oh, I'm blushing like the homecoming queen.
Nice. Follow us on Letterboxd at Mike O'Brien at Andrew Hates Films.
Thanks for reading that.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for writing that.
And
hey, man, can I just give us a banger?
really?
Give us some sauce. We've been in the dregs. Toss me a bone.
All right. See, I was going to pick...
I was going to pick How Green Was My Valley. But...
I think that movie's going to rule. But
all right. I mean, listen, I'm not opposed. I feel like it's been woven into the Oscar Wieners lore.
That's why I want to kind of save it.
Okay, sure.
Let's do... I'm going to keep us in the dregs for one more go around. Then we're going to maybe do something good. Honestly, the tough thing about where we're at now is the movies that the final 10 are going to be all bangers. So right now we're kind of left with the second string, the third string even.
Right. We're digging through the trenches to break out and hopefully see some beautiful, gorgeous sunlight.
Yeah, so...
Or some atrocious radioactive spew.
We're going to talk about Richard Attenborough's 1983 Best Picture winner, Gandhi.
Oh.
3 hours and 11 minutes. It is on Paramount Plus. Do not spend a penny. So look out for that. But until next time... if you ever find yourself in a Broadway production that really is not hitting like you want it to,
yeah,
get up, stretch your legs. And I want you... Here's how you're going to make it interesting. I want you to get up, stretch your legs, go out into the concession area, like outside the theater, in like the hallways or whatever.
What do you think I would get from there?
Well, I could tell you.
Okay.
I want you to order the biggest, longest, wettest, reddest hot dog you can get.
Yeah.
And if they don't have a big long one, you got to tell them to mash it up and form one.
Take all of the dogs you have. I want you to blend them, reform them into a mega dog.
I want you to take that thing. Excuse me, that thing.
Yeah.
I want you to haul it back into the theater on your shoulder. And of course it's covered in mustard. It's covered in ketchup.
It's dripping.
It's covered in relish.
Yeah, it's
an onion.
Yeah.
God knows
every usher is begging you to please cease and desist.
It's getting all over your dress, all over your coat, whichever you're wearing.
Yeah.
I want you to go walk up on stage in the middle of the show.
Completely forbidden.
Your dog on your shoulder. Security's trying to tackle you, but you're drenched in hot dog oil.
So you're slick.
You're slick.
Yeah.
And I want you to stand in front of the audience.
Yeah.
Be like, get a mic, and if they don't have one, wait for one. Demand that they give you one.
Wait for a mic.
Yeah. They give you a mic. hot dog on your shoulder, just like I am right now,
Right.
and say, I am the Wiener King or Queen, and this is my one woman or man show. And I want you to swallow that dog whole. One bite, no chews. That is going to entertain that audience far more than the hundreds of dollars they spent on Hamilton. Than the hundreds of dollars
Hamilton? And these people are watching Hamilton.
Than the hundreds of dollars they spent on Spider-Man Don't Be Afraid of the Dark or whatever it's called.
It's not.
Turn Off the Dark. I actually saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I want you to do that. Don't puke, because that'll ruin the show.
Yeah, that'd be poor form.
And if nobody claps for you, I want you to slow clap for yourself.
You would
After you
still days at this point.
After you swallow the hot dog, slow clap for you.
It's choking. You're on the floor just absolutely gasping for air, but you're still slow clapping for yourself.
If that isn't entertainment, I don't know what is.
Standing ovation.
See you next week, Wieners.
1, 2, 3, 4. These boys only want the best stuff. They want the cream of the crop. They don't want none of that microwave shit. They want the shit that bops. Oscar bait, black and white. Maybe something French. If it's got more than one explosion, honey, put that shit on the bench. Oscar Wieners. Oscar Wieners. Oscar Wieners. These boys are the Oscar Wieners. Oscar Wieners.
You know, there's some weeks where I can't find it, and then some weeks where I really do find it.
And there's some weeks where God himself just comes down and enters the soul.